Olusegun Onígbìdé is the founder at BudgIT, and he says, technically, this is President Buhari's administration's last budget, in the manner of speaking. By this time next year, it's going to be all politics, and then the preparation of the budget will just be left to the civil servants to handle, because then everyone will be fighting more for their political shirt than what happens to the 2019 budget. But that's still a little bit in the future. Good morning. It's good to have you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
Let's start with that. This is the Buhari's administration's third budget. He inherited the 2015 budget.
Yeah.
We're never sure till today, or we haven't really agreed as to who to hold responsible for the 2015 budget.
Yeah.
But technically, we can hang 2016 and 2017 around the president's neck, and this one, the third one. Okay, so looking back, what's your view about the last two budgets?
So we have three budgets.
Well, three. Well,
yeah. So well, we can count today already because the MTEP numbers were out. So we might be looking in a region of maybe 8.6 trillion naira. It could be less or maybe a bit higher. But if you look at the budget, we were at 6.06 trillion. That was the first budget of the president. Then we moved to 7.44 trillion. Now we're moving to 8.6 trillion. And if you go back to 2015, and prior to that, we're doing around 4.3, 4.4 trillion. That means in 3 years, we've doubled the size of the budget. On the expenditure component, the question is at the revenue side, has the budget actually doubled on the revenue side? So what you've seen is that we have deficits expanding, into a region of 2.5 trillion naira almost on an annual basis. That means there's going to be implication on debt. There's been much more focus on expanding infrastructure on a very wide scale. And there's been more bullish attempts to expand spending on capital expenditure. So I guess that's what you see on the Buhari side. But you would worry, and because they would say the context is correct, recession. We had recession in the 5 quarters of this administration. And when we had this recession, we needed to stimulate spending in the sector. And that's why we went on this huge budget. And I guess when do we start slowing down? When do we start doing the hard work of actually raising revenues so that we can start closing down the deficit?
Let's go to we got to put this budget on a particular, on a train for it to move. But then we've got this problem. This is what the vice president says yesterday, and he says the truth is that no developing economy can afford the luxury of prolonged executive legislature wrangling over the budget. This is not new, and it's not news.
It's not news because you know that in the last 2 budget cycles that we've either had padding or we've either had maybe some insertions. And so there's been a challenge
or
there.
Missing budget.
Or missing budget, or maybe the rats took the budget. So very
or the police arrested the budget in someone's house.
Yeah, and you know that even the last time we have had almost 4 budget office directors, so invariably there's been a bit of instability.
It's been really messy.
Yeah, but I guess now, the analysis that we have is that we're moving towards an election time, and the National Assembly members are not happy about the current budget cycle because it's very short. Funds have not been really released.
When you say current budget cycle, clarify, 2016 or 2017?
Okay, 2017, because the 2017 budget started in May. And the delay in the appointment of ministers by President Buhari did not allow the 2016 budget to kick off as when it's supposed to kick off. The ministers came in around November, and before the budget presentation was rushed to late December, on 22nd. And so before the budget could be passed was around April, and that was when we had, budget padding was not padded, and we had it signed in May.
Of 2016?
Of 2016.
Then that was the second quarter where the recession was at its hottest.
So in some sort of way, we that delay already put the budget cycle into shambles.
So when a budget cycle, from a corporate sense point of view, when a budget cycle is chaotic or is derailed, and this is what the vice president says again. It says if the budget process takes up to 5 months of the financial year, and procurement takes another 3 months, he said we have already ensured. Now this is quoting him. He said we have already ensured that the economy will be at a standstill for most of the year.
Yeah, we need to figure it out. And I guess that's what the administration is trying to correct right now, even though it's a bit too late also, because you presented in November. This should have happened maybe first week in October. the National Assembly would not have enough time to scrutinize the budget and get it passed by the Senate.
That's a question why. I'm going to ask the question. Why is it not going to have enough time?
Because you need to look at every single line item. Have the first principles debate, the second principles debate. You're talking about 2 weeks of that. You're talking about calling ministers to sit in and defend.
We have almost 1,000 Nigerians in the National Assembly, upper and lower houses, and they can't fix that.
It's the turnaround time for over the years, and I guess the incentive right now could be the political cycle, and I guess we will be faster than what we usually see, because like I said,
faster and better, but not necessarily hush job.
No, faster and better, because what you would say possibly is 2017 budget funds have not been released for projects, most especially constituency projects, most especially for capital projects, and so the